soldiers. The soldiers and Rollins themselves will fly there to Bando, they'll shoot you because you'll be sentenced to death, they'll go to North. But it got to a point, it was becoming too much, so they stopped that whole thing. Kwesi Pratt still confesses that 260 people got lost that were never accounted for. But hey, it could have been worse. Like I was telling you people, what people don't know is that when Nkrumah was overthrown, over 130 Zimas was stabbed and killed that weekend alone. Over 500 people were killed. But Buzi Adams never talk about it.
Mr. Benjamin, I got a question for you. Hey, listen. You feel say Rollins gets most of the blame because he didn't like snitch on his own people, because like some of the things maybe he authorized that thing, but like people go do it and you know let them, like he just keep them on. I feel say maybe because he feels like being your own people, because
later when he found out some of the people, he may have disciplined them. And I take this from the part where he had his own childhood friend, Kojo Lee, killed.
Because there's this video.
Kojo Lee's father, Dentist Lee, and he owned the African lake next to Trade Fair. Some fishermen went to fish there. And Kojo Lee used to fly planes with Rollins, were good friends, and he shot one of the fishermen. So he was sentenced to death. Rollins made sure Kojo Lee was killed by a firing squad and his body was dropped in the ocean.
Yes, I mean, I said that because, I have videos on YouTube, like the one where they talk about Askufor can wait and they try to reconcile that video. Understand, Rollins said after the killing of the judges, he goes speak to one of the soldiers who do that, as in the firing squad, the can kill him. It'd be like the conversation between him and that guy. Rollins never made like it public. He just he had a conversation, but whatever that guy said to him, he never like made it public, no. So we don't
mind you, he was writing a book.
So there was also a series of recordings. Okay. So Captain Tete, Rollins' bodyguard who died mysteriously, used to record a lot of these things. Adebuga and his that stupid guy he can't fight plus
the Lebanese guy says, yeah.
The Lebanese man, yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah, he recorded a lot.
Meet me outside if you are strong.
What was the guy's name?
I could not let you.
Afis or something.
Yeah.
There is also a time that GBC archives caught fire. So there's belief that some of the records that were recorded got burnt.
Yeah.
So there's a chunk of our history that we lost.
We lose them. Yeah, even Rollins mentioned that. Yeah.
Yes.
The GBC way he got burnt. Yeah, he mentioned that because he mentioned that he had a lot of the recordings and he even had some in the house. And then we shouldn't forget that the man was actually writing a book. I don't know if his wife will be continuing with the book or the book is done and then they are going to publish it soon. So I think we should also wait for that.
Because Kweku Bakutu say the writing book. So
I don't think Rollins' book will ever be published. If you look at what happened between Rollins, Nana Konadu, and then the whole Nana Konadu, to go for my new party, and now later joining the Akufo-Addo faction and all of that. I don't think she will ever publish a book about Rollins or continue that particular book in question. Maybe we can because mind you, Rollins' house also got burnt.
Yes,
it's possible that the manuscript for that book was part of the item that got burnt in his house. So who knows? Maybe we can petition Zinato to see if he's aware of anything like that, and if we can actually see to that manuscript being published. Yeah.
His last interview that he did with Asase, he talked about the book. and that was years after his house had gotten burnt. So I'm sure the book was still.
Then
allowed.
I think it was still on the book. So we should petition Zinato. I think.
Well, you can bring up the Nana Kunedu is the father. It depends on what is written in it or what
in the book. You understand?
Because
it depends. Because I think even Nana Kunedu's name will be in the book, and then there are things that.
Oh, of course. I mean,
90%.
I don't think Chairman Rawlings will write a book about his term in office or whatever, and will not include Nana Kunedu, Chairman Rawlings, and the 31st December Women Movement, and all of that. If you guys dig deeper into 31st December Women Movement, you understand why it was even formed and what it became afterward. The same replica happened with Zimbabwe, where Robert Mugabe married Sally Mugabe from Takrady, or from Second D, who also later tried to do the same December Women Movement thing in Zimbabwe, and he sort of checked Mugabe pretty well until she died. So there's like a pattern that most African leaders always play by. Yeah. Anyway, I said a lot of things to your man, Charlie. It's okay. We'll continue.
No, it's one thing where you tell me, if I'm at top, I'll tell you.
My name be Mac Jordan, no be Mac Lodge. Mac Jordan.
Sorry, Mac Jordan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think that she's also bitter about the way your man was handling his women issues? Because your man, for a long time now, say your man is a serious womanizer.
Who they talk about, bro? You don't have evidence like that, though.
No, okay.
Jatu.
Sorry.
Junior Jesus.
My guy. Charlie. I beg. You be man. Nick, you can't talk somebody.
Junior Jesus. You don't get plenty. If he himself in matter no day out like that.
No.
But we they ask all
the reason why it fall out last time. The reason why it fall out last time was because of some money. Money. It be money. You know, you woman at all. That means it be money. It be money open set up. It be money open them before them set up. We open your woman forget some. We be like get a thing. It be money. It no be anything. We run out.
He admits your man I be girlish. Not be girlish. Sorry,
it be fine boy. Fine boy, Scottish Airway boy.
Fine boy will get charisma like this.
Scottish Airway boy, Charlie, figure say what?
So man, I
will not be fine to be careless for you.
Anyway, what my brother is talking true. The womanizing part of it was accepted.
Of course,
she couldn't say anything.
Your mind, you open for the castle there, bitch.
Bro, I get problem plus you. You know they make people they talk. You they cut people on left, right, center, blah. You know, and they make people talk.
Say Akosobo, if you go over the dam, there is a guest house there.
It's a safe house. House.
Whatever it is.
It was a USA safe house
for they go fire for their way, they say the time we Kufuor take office where they say, Jack. Also, where he say you go there, walk there, and I just grab into me and that I'm trying to back. If the effort is that, then effort, say the Independence Act.
Okay. The office for the top there. Yeah,
they got office and bedroom there. Actually, that be there that time. What's his name? Keep the office for but bedroom day there though. That sometimes
it be a whole safe house. The designer will be the caretaker of the Independence Square and the art. It was supposed to be managed by special people appointed by the presidency to sort of protect that place because it was considered as a security.
But you see,
stuff.
Kufuor used to at Australia House. So Kufo, they go find a girl, they go put the girl for Australia. As if you leave the castle, you go here, really, you can't be there, you can't shop. You go here, level o'clock, sometimes level o'clock, you go here, say, switch back road, all of a sudden, Kufo, now if you castle, I get 37 out of it. Maybe only then, maybe I'll you my uncle.
Why you people go back to the Dasa Reconciliation Committee? Why do you think that Kufo set that thing up? Because it could not justify execution of Rollins. You know what making him be part, but you want for something legal, make them take triumph, so say they will get enough evidence over Jato, then do some, then so doing, then go prosecute them.
Wow,
why this whole
responsibility? Yeah.
It not be the sole responsibility, but like the idea behind that thing is say, you know what, to set up something. We have a legal backing. So say once people come out with the way they can't talk and things, then we go based on those evidence and take crucify your man.
Yeah. Because there was no way he go execute them. Because right now you be democratic president. So what you could take dual. So let's set up something legal. Yeah.
Very small.
I for do law, I swear, I for do law.
So the lawyers, one of the lawyers, Makidi, I be then be MPP guy. Somebody tell me say do something with the sack him. What exactly you do? I think it's in last day with Japan or something.
The judges or the lawyers?
So the judges, sorry. I mean, one day MPP way they say the sack him or something.
So Benjamin, they talk of the female judge way in the next in Kidi way the killer.
With the next
the two judges.
Comrade Japan, yes, Comrade Japan. I beg what to do for MPP with the sack him? Because I say the sack him.
Oh, Comrade Japan. He wasn't playing to the tune of Nanado. Nanado them orchestrated it so that he was the general secretary. He had political ambitions, and he and Paul Afoko, they weren't allowing Kenoforiata and people to run the shop. Okay. So they orchestrated and set them up that they do something where they claim say Ibrahim Baika give Comrade Japan things like that. They forced them out. And Nanado, that was the only way he could move forward, because guess who he brought in there? The Wuntumis and the Abronians and the fools that worship him. Yeah, because Comrade Japan and Paul Afoko, they were strong, grounded people.
Yeah.
Tradition and things. He wouldn't have been able to get away with some of these things then. But hey, they took the entire campus. Paul Afoko now, he made a lot of money under Kufuor. Bus tanks. Those XM loans and some of them, they never even finished, but he shoved the money. He was a very, very wealthy guy when Kufuor left. I don't know how long he's been able to keep his wealth under Nanado, but he was really, really wealthy. Complained upon the he don't have cash. He was just an architect and a sports media guy, became spokesperson for president. Then all of a sudden he thought because he was spokesperson for he could become, and because his father had been killed as a judge. Yeah,
I feel say that more compensation for him,
He could be president for Ghana. So he ran for president, he didn't win. Then he ran for participation and won.
You people, if we go back to this whole Bawumia conversation, between 2020 to 2021, who was the governor of the Bank of Ghana? How much was printed as allowed by the Bank of Ghana?
Which year?
Between 2020 and 2021.
Which year are you talking about?
Say between 2020 and 2021.
COVID time.
Maybe I just say
it was printed.
Billions. I mean,
over 221 billion cedis. Yet Bank of Ghana went into a loss. So now, add 1 and 2 together and tell me why Bawumia wasn't the right candidate for the MPP, even though even though Alan Chemartin was supposed to be the right person to lead the MPP in the last election? Ask yourself. Now, at the same time, they come and you guys for do some research and you like free things too much.
Oh,
started put some names together. Put names together, then started ask your body questions, saying why all of a sudden certain key people from the last government have acquired passport from St. Kitts and Nevis, Bermuda, Guyana. Why are Ghanaians owning oil blocks in Guyana? Ask your body that question. Wow. You'll get the answers. See, right now we get ChatGPT, we get Perplexity, we get Claude. If you run prompt into some of these models, they will give you varied information. If you just do your comparison analysis, find some academic paper where somebody published and see. You go see the truth. Because if you don't want to rely on Ghanaian media to know exactly what you for know, bro, a lot of them they do copy and paste. There's no Ghanaian media where they do critical investigation into, unless the Fourth Estate can publish something, unless maybe Joy FM can do something. Charlie, we are the mercy of our own. The information is in the airwaves.
No, small.
But she said this week, or whatever, it is you, Manasi. Say
Manasi Captain Smart too.
Then Manasi say, where I say, oh, Master, this one day for good New Jersey, because if they give a dance money for.
Look, so Benjamin, that guy, what happened between the NDC? Because I say Mills and time then they really did this,
Yeah,
I mean, it's in there. Everybody in squad,
Yeah, because if you see some tweets, what this one they thought, they respect and all of a sudden they do something.
No, nobody they respect them.
No, me, I never respect them. Me, what make a vex and be there? We're in a comfortable lead. I'd never like him matter again. I'm like, yo.
So here be the thing, right? Yeah. So the time at Tamils Day, Koku was more like the next big thing in the castle.
Perfect.
I swear, like if Atamils no day, Koku will day.
You go see Atamils show up.
Yes, nobody was allowed to see Tamils unless you go through Koku. Even though Mahama be vice,
they respect them.
Master, that's not true. Not true.
That's
not true. Look,
you sure?
Make I tell you something.
Okay, before you continue, the statement that Williams made recently about the man of powerful man in government who at a point in time everybody had to go through him. Bro, Charlie, you make I keep quiet.
Look. Make I tell you something. Okay. No, that statement wasn't about Kweku. But you people will find out very, very soon. The castle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you walk up the castle, there's a bodyguard there that you go through the staircase and go up, not the presidential wing. Okay. Then the person who always kept the president's door. Okay. And even under Kufuor, the person who controlled president's door was DK Ose. Under Mills, the person who controlled the president's door was Uncle Beb. Okay. Bebako, he was one of the first people Mills called and said, Uncle. Uncle Beb was a Ministry of Trade. That's where he started from. But he became secretary to cabinet under Rawlings. And he got along with Mills so much when it came to doing his paperwork and things like that. Now, when Mills went into exile, and Misata ran Mills's affair for him in Ghana, when you go past Uncle Beb, the only other person that you will see before Mills was Captain Lawson sitting in front of Mills's door. That's it. Kweku Awudone's office was right to that. On the left-hand side behind was the office that Cadman Mills and people used to use. No way, never did I go walk up there and Kweku stop there, things like that. But well, Kweku, because he was a media person and all that, yes, John Mahama's office was to the extreme right, the other side of the castle. The secretary to the what's his name, chief of staff, if anything, that was his problem. Mills did a couple of calculations that in politics you don't do that. Bebako had similar characteristics to Mills. So did, what's his name? Martin Newman. So they were all very passive, well-mannered, respected old people. This is the same thing that happened in the early days of Kufuor. When Kufuor first started, he made this guy as his chief of staff, Jake. After a few months, he said, Jake, he's not. Who did he bring? Kojom Pieni. Kojom Pieni was a street guy. He was a guy he can confide in. Kojom Pieni could walk to the vice president's office and shout on anybody. Next day, get up and go to